something that I've been learning to do, and people make it hard though. It's hard to not look at a stupid motherfucker and be like, this fool's a dumb fuck, bro. Because of ulterior motives, how they are, their hidden agendas, whatever the fuck, you know. And even if they are so fucking what? Fuck them anyway. Fuck them.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Cerbavelli, back in the place to be, La Merca Superior Palace 81 Studios. We are live in effect, live and direct. It's your boy Mr. Nine Times. Yeah, man. Today, we going to fucking mathematics? Dude, I'm all over the place here. Listen, man. Today's mathematics, it is Friday, July the 24th, which means 2026, which means it is wisdom and culture freedom all being born to equality. So let's kind of break down. I don't think we usually do freedom. We usually do culture, but let's do wisdom and freedom all being born to equality. So when we are using our wise words and our wise actions, we are bringing about freedom into our choices, into our perception, and into our, I wouldn't say cipher, but yes, our cipher too. When we are using our wisdom, we're bringing about freedom, and that is bringing about equality with our cipher, our person, with the people, places, and things that surround us. So this is like straight like off the top, but you know, if I'm using my wise words to bring about, you know, justice kind of goes along the lines, but let's just say, if I'm using my wise words and my wise actions to bring about freedom with my brothers and sisters, I'm bringing about equality. I'm making sure everybody has fair liberty and fair freedom using my wise words and my wise actions. Peace. Today's drip check, we have fucking just black and blue Air Max DNA8s. I love between the Air Max Pluses and the DN8s, I don't know which one is better. I just know that the DNs are probably one of the worst looking Air Maxes I've ever seen. Now, these are pretty crazy. They with the bubbles and shit, they make me think of like some alien tentacle type shit. So I'm not going to get up again and show y'all, but y'all see it, right? The bubbles. I like how they're see-through, and these are, I think, my third pair, because I think I have the Patas were number one, the Tiger Camo was number two, and I think this is the only third one that I have. I told y'all the story of how I was at, I think, JD or Finish Line. I can't remember, but I was over there and I saw a pair of DNs, and I've always wanted a pair of DNs, and they didn't have my size or some bullshit like that. No. They kept going. No, I wanted a pair of 95s, Air Max 95s. And they were trying to bullshit me like, oh, no, you know, we don't got those, but you want to try an 11 and a half. And it's like, bro, 95s in as it is are snug as fuck. You want me to go a half size down? Like, it ain't an Air Force, guy. You know what I mean? So I tried a pair. I can't remember if they were triple black or the ones that, you know, with the DNs, it's kind of like it'll all be one color. And I think the air bubbles were red or some bullshit like that. So I think they're cool. They just kind of look like shinobi shoes. And you know what I mean? They look mad ninja-ish. I think they'd be good running shoes because they kind of propel you forward. So if you're running, it's kind of bringing momentum into your next step. And I don't run. And number one, and number two, it's like I feel like Air Maxes, DNs, just the regular ones, they're cool, but I think I've yet to find a pair that I actually like that I would actually want to rock. It's kind of one of those things where it's a toss up, and I'd have to find the right colorway and think of like maybe a good fit to go around it. They're a lot less bulkier than the DN8s because with the DNs, it's kind of like, yeah, the bubbles are big, but since it's only in the heel, it's kind of like the shoe looks like it slopes down. It almost looks like you're wearing like a Air Max version of a heel, like heels, you know what I mean? Like for women, pause. But you get what I mean. It's just a different looking shoes versus DN8s. The bubbles are all the way through. So I can't really do like a good comparison, but I think just the bottom line is fucking DNs are just like a weird looking design, and I'm glad the DNA completely revamped it. This isn't something like we're gonna throw fucking, I'm trying to think of like two sneakers that are okay, so like Air Max 1s and Air Max 90s. I can't remember. I think the 1s were first. I think they came out in 89, and then obviously the 90s came out in 90 or some shit like that. I want to say the 1s came out in 89, but if you look at the 1s in the 90s, they're like fucking, you'd have to like squint and really look at the shoe if you don't know sneakers and be like, oh, okay, like those are different. I always say that the swoosh, the Nike check, it's tucked in into like, I don't know if you would call it the mid, not the midsole, but the upper, like it's tucked in, you know, like it's hidden. You only see half the check versus the one, you see the swoosh all the way, kind of like the Jordan 1 and the Dunk. You know, the Jordan 1, you see the swoosh all the way. The Dunk, the upper has that kind of like design where it cuts it down. Like it cuts it kind of like a quarter of the way to the end of like where your heel would be. This is super nerdy shit, but I'm just trying to give you like a good picture of what I'm trying to say. So it's not that. DNs and DN8s are not like 1s and 90 Air Maxes where it's like, the difference between the 1s and the 90s is the biggest thing is just to like give it like a good comparison. The air unit is different and the check is different looking. Besides that, they're a very, very, very similar shoe. Air Max DNs and DN8s, completely different design, and I like that. I don't know, they could have named this shit a different Air Max and I would have been completely cool with it. I would have actually wanted them to call this shit something else, because now whenever I wear these, see these, or talk about these, I'm like, now I feel like I need a pair of DNs, but I can't really think of like shoes that I really like that propel you forward from the heel. That's kind of like why I don't see myself buying Ons or Hokas, because they just big, bulky from the outsole shoes. And I'm not a fan of that. I see a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but I've seen people wear either Vomero Premiums or Vomero Pluses, which is fine, but it's just the fucking outsole is so fucking big. I think I'm getting bit over here, but it's just such a big fucking bulky design on the bottom of the shoe, and it's like I already have big fucking feet already, so in that kind of sense, I don't know, I just kind of like shoes that complement my body and my style and not look too runnerish. Ons look like, the way I could break it down is Ons look like you work in a hospital. Hokas are like you're gonna run a fucking marathon, and then you could get away with like, and then same thing with like Vomero Premiums and Pluses. They look like you're gonna run a fucking marathon. Pegasus Premiums, kind of the same thing, but because of the colorways, they kind of give it like a like different type of style to them. But you know, fucking, it's just my preference in shoes. So with the DNA, it's like the bubbles go all the way through. They're different sizes too. Like at the bottom where like your, I guess the like right below your heel are like the two biggest bubbles, and then right in the back, like right on the furthest part of the heel bubble is smaller. Then directly like into the palm of your foot is another small bubble. Like the bubbles are different sizes and they remind me of 95s. So the Air Max DNA reminds me of like something if like a 95 in the air bubbles, and even in like the, I don't know what you call these. They're kind of like waves going across like the foot. You know, like these shits, how they kind of like, they're either like pillars or waves, or I don't know what the fuck you would call these. But since the fucking color, bro, it goes from like fuck, I don't even know what kind of green, what the fuck? Blue you would call this, but it goes from like a blue to a gray, and it fucking fades into a black, which is, you know, they got Air Max Pluses like that. So I just kind of like that idea that I think the DNA's been around maybe 2 years now. I can't remember because every year they come out with a new Air Max, right? So the liquid Air Maxes came out this year for Air Max Day. Last year, I want to say it was DN8s, and then the year before that was like DNs or something. I could be wrong, but you know, this new colorway, they were like a blue and purple colorway, came out on sneakers. I would have hit on them, but I just didn't have my credit card information right. So I'm kind of glad too, because I had to pay for other shit today. So I'm glad I'm not gonna be stuck with a big credit bill. You know, because every time I get paid, I wipe that shit. Like I pay off my debts. Like that's a super big thing. I feel like if you're gonna be having credit cards and shit, like I have multiple credit cards, that doesn't mean I'm using all of them. I have 3. But the one I started with, I keep that because that's my oldest account. My second one, which was another dog shit percentage, but at least it came with like some perks, like points you could use and shit, like cash back. And then this new one I got through my credit union, which is fire because, you know, it's like I constantly got better credit card benefits and all that bullshit. So I just, you know, whatever I charge on my card, I pay off right away. I got to get Presley his teeth clean, so I got some cash up front, and then whatever I can't pay, I'll just, you know, I'll charge that on the fucking credit and then pay that off. You know, if it's a lot, we're looking for his teeth. We're starting around like 900, and then to the upside of like 3,500, which I hope. If it's bad, I just hope they meet me in the middle somewhere, like $2,000, nothing more than that, because it's just a lot of feria, you know what I mean? So who knows? Either way, I'm gonna take care of my boy. Like, you know, it's not a thing like bada bing. He's like my number one guy in that I take care of. He means a lot to me. He's like my best friend. Not really I don't know if a son. You feel like I'm your dad? You want to be my son, buddy? Is that not evident already, or how do you feel about it? I don't know, man. But either way, I feel like with the sneakers, man, I'm chilling out a little bit on that. We're still on the fucking, what is that shit? Let's get it over with, right? I got some Dickie cargos. I got the Everlasting Imperial. I wore these on the last episode, I think. And then you know, just some jewelry. So going back to the sneakers, I didn't have the right credit card information. So by the time I changed my credit card to get charged, it was like just a few left. And I'm a 12.5 in liquid Air Maxes because they run small. And I already knew, I was like, I'm probably not going to hit on these. And I didn't get them. It was like 7 a.m. I didn't go to sleep probably till like 7:45. I was just up. You know, fucking couldn't sleep. Woke up like at 9:30. It was hard. I woke up and then I got my haircut by Carlos. I don't know if you could see, but I got the star. You know what? I gotta wear my Bapestas tomorrow. I want to do another episode of the God's Hour, but who knows? Maybe, because I do want to ramble. I do want to rant because, like, you know, I want to bring topics back. I don't want to keep talking about, like, you know, the kind of everyday things. Everybody kind of knows what I talk about is sneakers and the fishes and the dog and the whatever the fuck, right? So I want to bring it back. I have some shit I want to talk about now, and then we could talk about some shit later. What was I talking about with the shoes? So I didn't hit on them, and then I woke up and I got my hair cut. Carlos fucking moved. He's closer to my tia's house in Rialto, and I told him, I was like, you know what, bro, this is far, like. And he was like, yeah, I moved because this is close to my house. And I was like, well, that's cool for you, but it ain't cool for me, because I was going all the way to fucking Fontana, which is which is the city right before. And the only reason out of my loyalty, because my loyalty is unmatched. I feel like that's something that we're missing nowadays in our culture, is like just people that hold each other down. I wholeheartedly have only a few friends that I would call friends. You know what I mean? The people that I feel like I could pick up the phone and they'll drop everything for me. Only got a few of those. And you know what I mean? And yeah, reality's reality. Like, some people are gonna get caught up with shit, but there's people that are really close to that I feel like I could just call them and it's like ride or die. You know what I mean? Or at least I get that vibe. So either way, it's kind of like loyalty is something that I feel is done and not said. And actions speak a lot louder than words. So you could tell me all kinds of shit, which sounds good. People have fucking straight lied to me or fucking just made dressed shit up or told me things that I'm just like, this ain't true at all, Like, don't even lie to me, bro. Whether it be like people who just, they swear like, oh, you're the best rapper, or this album is so fucking dope, or whatever. Oh, my album's dope. What's your favorite song? Oh man, there's always one song that I shut the fuck up, bro. You listen to my album like one time and was like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell me like don't tell me all that shit, bro. Like, it's cool. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings, bro. Like, I making music and shit for as long as I have, I feel like I have a real thick skin. And the days of like, oh man, what the fuck, fuck this fool, he doesn't listen to my album, and it's like, fucking why? You know what I mean? I don't listen to everybody. I don't listen to everybody's album and shit. I listen to old shit. Like, what I've been listening to, Cypress Hill, like their first 4 albums, Black Sabbath, their first 2, second and third album. What else I've been listening to? Some funk, old shit. Like, none of this new shit like is inspiring to me at all. Like, and it ain't gotta be with like homies or whatever the fuck. It's just where I am in my life is like, I'm inspired by like shit that inspired me before, which is like old shit. And there's always some like old school shit I could tap into that will inspire me besides shit going on in my life. Like, whether that be, old Rick James, old fucking, whoever, like Zapp and Roger. Like, there's a old school element to my music, and I feel like if there's not like an old school element that's inspiring me, it kind of doesn't make sense. But then again, I've yet to listen to like new music, so maybe I should be up on like new punk, or like, because I've been listening to more like metal, like either like Rage or System, or like I said, Black Sabbath. That's kind of like I'm like tapping into like my childhood, and that's something like with my pops. I think I subconsciously listen to like heavy metal because it kind of like, I feel like it brings me closer to like my father, and like the times we would go to the Santa Fe Springs swap meet, fucking watch the tribute to the Ozzy Osbourne. I think that's what it is. Like, I connect with Sabbath because it brings like a personal nostalgia memory to me that I kind of go down memory lane listening to. And just today so like after I got my haircut, I told Carlos, I was like, look, this is probably the last time you're gonna cut my hair, and like, it's fucking whack. And he's like, yeah man, every time I move it sucks because like I lose like clients and shit, or like it's never guaranteed. And I'm like, you should have fucking moved back to the mall. I mean, how are you not? How is your clientele not better at the fucking by the mall, bruh? I mean, I get it if the premium is like super fucking high on the rent or whatever the fuck, but I don't know, man. If it works for him, it works for him. You get what I mean? I don't know, man. I just feel like it's like the end of an era. You know what I mean? I won't be getting my haircut. It's not gonna be the same. And I told him, I was like, you know what? I'll try to come back and I'll get my haircut by you, but bro, like, Rialto's just fucking far, dude. Like, I told him because I'm like, I have no problem paying for the haircut, but it's just the gas money and the miles. You get me? The gas is up super high right now. My 26 Camry hybrid, right? How the fuck it got anybody who got a 2026 Camry? This is probably some old shit. Now, hopefully, you got your car already good and shit. But they had a recall on loose inverter bolts, and they didn't tell me till I went and got my fucking service done on it for the 10,000 miles. I'm over there, and they're like, sir, do you know that there was a recall on the inverter bolt, whatever the fuck, and schedule an appointment to get your car serviced. So, and it might take like a day or two. So I'm like, oh, a day or two. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe it's just fucking some whatever, like some light work, right? And I looked that shit up, motherfucking, that the battery could die to catch fire, and fucking that shit turns into Optimus Prime and it becomes a whole transformer. I said, hell to the nah, bruh. I was like, I literally went to work and I called and I made an appointment, and I was like, dude, I don't give a fuck. So I was gonna get a loaner. I straight got big because I feel my shit right here. It's all fucking irritated and shit. Hold on, I fucking took a break because my shit's on fire. Anyway, so what was it? So the inverter bolt, right? Once I read my shit up on that, they were like, I was like, oh hell no, I'm gonna fix this shit right now. And so I came back. They took the car, the loaner they gave me. No. The loaners that they had were Tacomas. I was like, dude, I ain't driving to downtown LA in a fucking Tacoma. Them bitches do about 8 miles to the gallon, bruh. I ain't gonna fucking drive no Tacoma. Are you fucking smoked out? And so I just had them. Thank God we got, my pops' Camry. So we're over there. So I was there, brought it back, fucking just been using the Camry now. I definitely got bit on this fucking leg, and I'm fucking on fire over here, but whatever. We're thugging it out for the program. Salute everybody. I'm trying to think where we're gonna go from here. What was I talking about my data? Carlos the Barber, right? All right, so boom, told him can't do it no more. I'm gonna come back at some point, but for now I can't do it. So I'm gonna go back. Originally, it begins where it ended, or it ends where it begins. Wherever it is, I'm gonna go back to the one at the mall over here because I got so bit the fuck up, dude, on my legs. Oh my lord, I can't even fucking. God damn, dude. Fuck. This was a bad idea. How come the last 2 episodes I was good, but now I got bit the fuck up? What's going on? This is fucking bullshit. Anyway. This hurts. What was I talking about? The car? Carlos. So, the mall. The mall had a group of barbers that none of them work there. The only one that's there is Abraham, who I guess is the owner, and he cuts hair too. He actually cuts hair really well. I didn't know, and you know what's funny? I would see him in the shop, and I didn't even know he was the fucking owner. I thought he was just a regular dude. I mean, I never got my hair cut by him, but I'll never forget, I want to say the first chair when you walk in was Lex, Carlos, Everyone else. Um, I think Kiko was in that shop too. I remember seeing Kiko, and then when this is how long I've been with Carlos, getting my hair cut by Carlos. So in 2018, started over there. Maybe around 2021, he goes and he gets his own spot in Fontana. One of none. That was their thing with the three of them: Kiko, Lex, and Carlos. That was really cool. It had its own kind of like vibe to it. It wasn't like it wasn't like a barber shop kind of vibe to it. It was more like a I don't know how to explain it. It was more of like its own private little thing where it's like, oh, like imagine if a barber shop had a VIP where there were only 3 barbers and they were exclusive. That's how it felt. It felt like just a real exclusive type, not a barbershop, because a barbershop is like, you're getting your haircut, the music's, oh shit, what the fuck? The music's going, they got all the TVs, you're hearing 1,000 clippers going off. This wasn't like that. It's like you're hearing 3. You can hear this fool's conversation loud. You can hear this fool's conversation is loud. He might be talking about some shit I make jokes about. I might be talking to some shit they're making jokes about, and it's all like a thing. I'll never forget when Kiko, I was like, I fucking said some shit like, oh, y'all got to play my new album up in here. And he was like, no, we don't. That shit's trash anyway. And I was like, what the fuck? In my head, I forgot what I told him. I was like, I kind of deflected that shit like, oh, all right, or whatever the fuck. But in my head, I was like, fuck this fool. Like, who the fuck is this asshole? Like, that shit was super crazy. Like, to me, I've never felt that comfortable telling somebody that. But maybe people just, like, they lack the respect or understanding to just say things out of their ass and don't know what the fuck they're saying. That could be the case. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody else. But when it came to that situation, I was just like, this fool's an idiot, because it's like, you ain't even getting this money that I'm giving Carlos. You ain't fucking making no moves like me. And you got to think, this is 2021. So I'm barely kind of in the beginning of the God's Hour show. I'm like, this is before I started Imperial. This is like kind of like the midway point of where we are now, So when I started, I was just rapping. 2015, 2021, that's when I started the podcast. 2023 is when I started the close. And then here we are in 2026. It doesn't seem like a long time, but it's like consecutive moves and just leveling up. And, it goes from 2015. I dropped my first mixtape. I had a shitload of mixtapes and EPs before and after that. 2017, I started doing my first open mics. 21, I started the podcast. 2022, I did my first feature for a hip hop show. 2020 fucking, what is it? 2025, I fucking flew out to Indiana and I'm at NC. And then 2026, I'm going to be like kind of, I don't know if I think I'm headlining like my first show, not the show that I threw. Cause I headlined and then we go back to 2025. I started throwing my first shows, right? And which I headlined. Did I headline the first one? I don't even remember. I think I did. Cause it was the Greenlight release party. So the first show I headlined, the second show I think was Divine Flows. The third one, dude, I can't even remember. Oh, it was what's his name? Big Ace. And then the last one, the fourth one we threw was Nemi. So, I say this to say I'm constantly making moves, constantly trying to elevate my career, and I don't let the opinions of fuckface Levas dictate nothing in my life. Cause you didn't got no idea what the fuck I'm doing, bro. You're on the fucking, like I said in my song, like you on the sidelines watching. Eyes in the skies, you on the sideline watching. That had nothing to do with nothing, but it's just one of those things where people say shit and they don't know shit. So if you don't know shit, shut the fuck up. That's how I feel about it, It's not the worst thing in the world to be judged by people, but it's just you do things, people say things, fuck them, bro. Doesn't matter. Because what you got going on in your life, however you feel about my life, fuck you anyway. Good or bad. Like, if you like my shit, great. If you don't, fucking beautiful. It doesn't matter. Are you okay? Where you at? Hey. Oh, there's a mosquito right here. This fool's been camping out on me. He's like, hey, man, what the fuck? Damn, I caught this fool. He probably got a whole fucking ounce of my blood in his fucking little stinger. Damn, man, these fuckers have no mercy. This shit is burning like a fuck right now. So, yeah, I'm going to be getting my hair cut over here by the mall. Holmes is a really good barber. I don't know if I should shout him out because I have no problem shouting out brands, but whatever the fuck, right? So I'm literally just going to talk about my day. That's fine. Fuck it. And my opinions about it. It doesn't matter. So I don't know. I just feel like, and then also to getting, here's the thing, bro. It's all about the overhead. What's coming in versus what's coming in versus going out. What's being made versus what's being spent. 120, 120. I shouldn't even say how much I was paying Carlos. I paid him good money. I paid him good money, right? I do want to still get my hair cut by him, but just once in a while. But then also too, I'm making like at least a 30-mile round trip every time I'm fucking going and getting my hair cut. That's gas and that's putting miles on a car. So everything is just adding up. Let's just say it all adds to like 150 fucking fucking dollars a month or some shit like that. Like that's, and then also too with the miles, those are miles you can't take back. So even if I go just to go to the malls across the whole fucking city, like you talk about, like I'm on one end of the city, it's on all the way on the other end, just to get across the fucking city. Ontario's big, dog. You're talking easily 15 minutes with traffic, 20 for sure. Like for sure, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? The only reason I got around that going to Fontana is because I'm fucking hauling ass on a freeway, So we want to talk about like, wise investments, using, our responsibilities and our time wisely. It's like these are things you got to consider. I'm not gung-ho about buying a bunch of sneakers. Why? Because I have a lot of them. I love sneakers. I love to collect. Guess what? I love my money too. I got certain goals and shoes ain't really in that. I've been putting shoes directly into the fucking, into my investments. And guess what? I ain't getting nothing back. It's all about assets and liabilities. Sneakers, that's a liability. Cars, that's a liability. Clothes, that's a liability. Things that depreciate in value. Now, what are assets? Well, assets are investments that you could get returns on. Now, if I'm spending money on clothes to sell, that's an asset. If I'm buying clothes to wear, that's a liability, right? And we don't want liabilities. We want assets. I got thousands of dollars worth of liabilities in my closet right now. Does that make me feel good? Not really. Is it necessarily bad? No. Is it something that I enjoy doing and it makes me happy? Yes. So in that case, it is an asset to my fucking mental health and well-being, because we're living a life, what is it? The life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness. And that's my happiness of the pursuit, bruh. It's just going over there, going to work, get my money, and spending it the fucking way I want to. We go into like what's that shit called? Astrology and all that shit, right? My Lilith my Lilith is in blank because you don't need to know all my shit, right? But basically, my Lilith is. This is one of the things I don't kind of understand, but just in a nutshell, it's kind of like your shadow side or some shit that's like you kind of gotta wrestle with in life. And my shit is like understanding that it's like the thing in the Fight Club. And you know what's funny? This quote always rang in my mind. It was like the things you own in your life eventually will own you. And that shit scares the fuck out of me because sometimes I feel like I'm a slave to this fucking material bullshit, right? This right here, these shit. Sometimes I feel like these shits got a chain connected to them, bruh. Just like that. Fucking invisible fucking chains right there. Getting these metals together. But at the same time, it's like, this is what I like and this is what I wanted, so I might as well fucking enjoy it. You know, I'm taking my parents out to go see Cali Uchis at the beginning of August. I'm gonna go at the end of that month to go fucking see NC. I'm doing things that I worked very hard for. I'm doing them because it makes me happy. You know, all these shoes, I wanted them so bad. I love this color. Look at that shit. It matches the watch. Not all the way, but it matches the fucking watch. You know, so it's just one of those things where I love my car. It's fucking nice. It's fast. It's beautiful. It's new. You know, once it's 2027, you don't got a new car anymore. I got the newest car, and that's fucking that car got that new car smell, even if it don't got that new car smell. And my car don't got that new car smell. You know why? Because I've been fucking farting fucking flaming hot Cheeto fucking puffs in the car and shit. And you know, whatever. I have my work shit in there. So it's got a tainted kind of smell, and it don't smell like a new car anymore, which pisses me off. But I got one of those cherry scented bombs for the car. So it doesn't even matter at that point. I just think it's one of those things where I'm grateful for, you know, things have transpired in my life recently that made me like more great. I'm always grateful for the things that I have in my life, but it's just daily reminders like, dude, like I'm doing really good in life. And even though I could get caught up in the like bullshit, it's like, who cares? Because I'm exactly where I always wanted to be in my life. I was driving into work one day and I saw this homeless guy with a shopping cart, pushing a shopping cart full of like just shit to build an encampment, like plywood and just all kinds of fucking blockadery type of bullshit like that, right? And I remember I drive past them and I'm just thinking to myself, what a fucking miserable life. You know, what a waste of a life to just be reduced to a homeless person looking for scrap, if this is what the situation was, for a home or a makeshift domicile, right? But then I caught myself in, I remember something DMX said. He called somebody a bum, and he literally cried saying, I called this person a bum, which is wrong because I'm judging this person based on their material possessions, or like, I'm paraphrasing, what he has and not the person he is, you know. And that was powerful to me because as I thought that, what a fucking waste of a life, I caught myself and I was like, you know what? What if this fool is living the fucking his dream? All this fool got to do is wake up and make $5 for a 40 ounce and find wood and shit, which ain't hard in LA because all LA is full of fucking shit in some places that people just toss and throw to the side and wait for the cleanup crew to throw that shit away. It ain't hard to find a 5 and some, you know, scraps for a house, like to make a little house, you know what I mean? Who the fuck am I? You know? Maybe to him, he's like, look at this asshole, you know, trying to fucking, hurry up so he could go to his job. Like, fuck you. I gotta push this cart and do what I want to do. So I just thought of that, and I was like, wow, like I shouldn't be thinking like that. Why? Because I got money? Because I got a car? Who gives a fuck? Your whoever's my definition of success and whatever the fuck has nothing to do with nobody else except me. You get what I mean? And that's some of the shit that I've been on recently. Like, I've always been on that, like a real cerebral thinker, but just like some of the mentalities people have is like, you gotta really understand, like, some people are just different, and you gotta accept people's differences. Like, who the fuck am I to judge anybody? Who am I, bro? I don't know who the fuck I am. I really don't. Because there's some days where this music, all this other shit, it doesn't mean anything to me. Be honest with y'all. I could go without making music. I could go without doing the podcast. I could go without stupid shit that is material, but it goes back to the Lilith shit, right? Where it's like, it doesn't have to weigh that heavy. Just enjoy that shit. And stop fucking judging people. That's a heavy fucking message. Stop judging people. For what? It's just something that I've been learning to do, and people make it hard though. It's hard to not look at a stupid motherfucker and be like, this fool's a dumb fuck, bro. Because of ulterior motives, how they are, their hidden agendas, whatever the fuck, And even if they are, so fucking what? Fuck them anyway. Fuck them. You know what I mean? But it didn't really I don't really got the right to judge them like if they're any less. It's just like, okay, if this fool is working against me, then I gotta work against that. But that don't make him a bad guy necessarily. It just means I disagree with the way he's going about things in my life. But maybe whatever he's doing is working out for him, and he knows that because obviously he's conscious of those fucking decisions, him or her. My life ain't fucking dependent on nobody else's actions, beliefs, or fucking business. I wake up and I got to do what I got to do because that's what works for me. And hey, I'm fucking here doing what I love to do and fucking talking about it. But to judge somebody and be like, you know what? Fuck you. You're an asshole because this and that. It's like, that could be true, but it could not. But we got to question some of these things that we believe in because it might not be 100% what you think, I thought because I'm hot-headed, I'm real stubborn, I'm real hard-headed. I fully don't want to believe this person is good because of my own prejudices and judgments against them and their past or their mistakes or whatever their fuck or their personality or their demeanor. Guess what? That might not even be the fucking case. That might just be my own fucking fucked up perception and trauma in my mind that I had to go through, that I have to learn how to unlearn as I'm growing up and becoming more of a man every day. But it takes work. Are you gonna fucking be the same person, or are you gonna try to grow? Because as you grow, you're gonna lose fucking people and lose things and lose habits and old bullshit that you just gotta leave behind. You gotta grow past that. You can't be like, oh well, you know what? That this is what I believe in and that's what it is. No, it's not. There's a lot of things that I've said and believed in and I've spoken about on this podcast that I go back and I'm like, I sound dumb as fuck. I sound so stupid. And people, I feel like, can see that. You know what I mean? For whatever it is, right? Especially, like the first couple shits, I was like, man, like I fucking sucked at this shit. But, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is, my perception and my perspective on life. And I just kind of talk about it. And I just want everybody to be on this journey with me because I'm growing. As you see me growing on camera and on the audio or however the fuck you're watching and listening to this shit, you're seeing somebody become more each and every day growing, you know, and I hope the same for you and yours or whoever is watching that needs these sort of messages. Because I literally had no idea I was going to talk about any of this shit. Just put on the fucking camera. I say, you know what? I'll talk about my day. And that's what the fuck I did. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of episodes. But the next episode, I do want to talk about some different topics and shit. I want to, humor some of you with my entertaining anecdotes. So, we had like fucking 2 or 3 messages of the day, but my sister came over, and this shit just kind of showed how dysfunctional of a family we have. But life ain't perfect, family ain't perfect. The message of the day is, you don't get to choose the life you live. Or hold on, the message of the day is, fuck, god damn it. The message of the day is, you don't get to choose. Sometimes you don't get to choose things in your life. Sometimes life just moves and you got to move with it, right? So today revealed some very interesting things that I found to be very introspective because of the way tonight played out with my parents, with my family, with my sister. And a lot of trauma came out in different ways. And I feel like a lot of the weight of that is us not dealing with our traumas correctly. I felt like I was the only one that was trying to shed light on some things that were heavy for us. And whether you're ready or not, I don't care. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit, I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'm going to try not to be a dick about it. I'm not going to try to deflect. I'm going to see it for what it is and kind of bring light to the situation in my own way. It might not be the perfect way. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I could have handled shit a lot better communicatively, but that's the only way I know how to do shit. Is just like, okay, well, you do realize that you was coming in hot, and that's why they said this, and like now you're trying to act like the innocent one. You can't, bro. You don't get to step on somebody's shoes and get mad that they slapped you in the face. That's not how this works. We always go back to like perception, right? So you can't be mad at some things people do. You kind of just got to be aware of them. And sometimes we could try to scapegoat other people or just deflect. And it's like, no, bro, you don't get to do that. I mean, you can, but you're just lying to yourself, and you're delaying your growth, and you're not learning from anything. In this life, I need to learn. I need to grow. I need to become a better fucking person. You know why? Because when I have my own fucking family, I don't want none of this shit getting passed down. I literally told my mom, you will never see my kids. You won't. I won't have none of this shit. You know what I mean? I love my mom. I love my mom to death. I'll shoot somebody in the head 1,000 fucking times for my mom. But guess what? We got some shit we got to work out. And if you can't work through that shit, and I can't be around you. You get what I mean? I don't want to shit on my mom or nothing and be come off as like Eminem, but it's just one of those things where these are very, very deep, personal, and dark things that it's not unique to me. That's the crazy shit. Everybody that's watching, everybody that listens, we all go through shit. Whether you want to admit it or not, you're on Instagram and you're fucking making everybody look one way about your life. We all know. You know, not everybody, fuck everybody. You know if that's really you or not. Because guess what? That whoever that is on my Instagram that you think I am, that's really not me. You know why? Because I don't know who the fuck I am. You know why? Because I'm figuring out who the fuck I am every day. Because I'm trying to, 1, grow as a person, number 1. And number 2, I'm trying to be a better man. This is the God's Hour.
Brass Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. He wed Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.